Hello, and welcome to episode 17 of A Guardian Talks. So, I just started recording before, but then I realized about 3, 4 minutes into it that the microphone wasn't switched to the USB device, so I was essentially talking into the void. Hmm. For good reason, obviously. Divinely, I needed to talk about things differently or come at them from a different angle. So, yeah. What am I talking about today? Well, it's interesting because I first want to talk about my homeland, my country, in as meaningful as country is or can be, as we members and guardians of GPMS understand it to be. But the United Kingdom, sort of in the last 24, 48 hours, seems to have taken on and seems to have heated up. Things are ratcheting up fast over there. Videos are coming out thick and fast of police behaving in very intense, Stasi-like, totalitarian ways. Being extremely violent with people, doing things which are obscenely and obviously a violation of several laws, as well as human decency and dignity. And being very blatant and blunt and open about it as well, just showing they don't care. But also at midnight last night, UK time, there was a petition released on the government petition website calling, the petition is basically calling for a snap general election. And I looked at it before, it's approaching the million mark now, and it's not been 24 hours yet. By UK time. So I don't think I've ever seen a petition go up so fast, where you literally look at it and every few seconds it goes up another few hundred. It's rapid. But the interesting thing about it is on X, the main platform I pretty much um, look at these days. X and Rumble are my sort of main sources of information about the outside world. It's what I use to keep a pulse on what's going on around the world in the old timeline, the current timeline, the higher timeline. There's a lot of the higher timeline playing out on X as well, revealing itself, but mostly lower timeline. Um, and people, it's a place where one of the few places online where you can really see people and hear people expressing themselves fully and completely as to how they actually and genuinely feel. And in regards to this petition, um, my fellow countrymen, I suppose you could call them, it's funny because they're saying, "Yeah, I signed the petition, but it's what use is it really anyway?" I gave my support because I might as well, and it only takes a couple of minutes. But who is there to vote for? Who is there really that's going to represent the people exactly how they're supposed, they should be represented? Who's going to do the right thing? It seems like a fruitless exercise, but I signed it anyway because it's something I can do to make my voice heard in just some little way, even if it goes nowhere. This kind of sentiment. So obviously, in reply to these posts and these videos with people saying these different things, I'm like, well, okay, if you feel that way about this particular, and it only took you a couple of minutes to fill out that petition, why not go to GPMS? Here's GPMS, Worldwide Referendum, and it is the vehicle for which humanity can step into its own sovereignty, calling for nobody to govern us or stand over us in authority, but for us to stand in our own divine authority. It takes just the same amount of time, and your voice will be heard truly. and you're not flinging it into the void, hoping it will be heard by suited men in dusty rooms in buildings that you never got any hope to enter into. It will be heard by the divine. It will be heard by your brothers and sisters, and your each brother and sister that sees another brother and sister sign on to this strengthens and enhances the energy behind the day that moment comes when humanity steps into its own sovereignty and GPMS can be incepted. We simply take back what is ours, what was always ours, what was never ours to give away, really, but could only be tricked into thinking we had. You know, it's strange, and so and to be fair, I had good response. I've had I haven't had overwhelming response. I haven't had dozens, hundreds, thousands, or even dozens of people falling over themselves to go, oh yeah, well, but I've had a few who've gone, oh yeah, okay, why not? Yeah, actually, sign a petition. I don't think it's going to go anywhere anyway, or do anything, or create any kind of systemic change. But this actually looks like something that I stand behind and like I can get behind, and I might not necessarily believe that that will incept either, but if I'm willing to do it for a petition on a government website, why not do it on GPMS? So I've had good response. I've not had any negative response from it, certainly. But the one thing that is absolutely becoming clear to me with my sojourns into the realms of X and Rumble is that the hunger for real change, the drive, and yes, indeed, in a lot of cases, the desperation for anything, something and anything that people can look towards, move towards, or do or say, um, that will bring an end to the madness that's going on and bring in something that is real, that is genuine, that is actually going to benefit themselves, their loved ones, and hopefully eventually everybody. It's palpable. It's palpable. It's just using the UK as a thermometer right now, just singling out that single geographic location. It's about to explode there. It has already reached boiling point. It's boiling over. Um, I actually wrote an email to the MP whose constituency I signed the petition under. Obviously, I'm an expat now, so and as an expat, uh, I just gave her the address of my mother, basically the postcode of my mother's house, and that constituency, I think it was Halton and Runcorn and Halton constituency, a guy called Mike. And in fact, for those who are interested, I'll read the contents of the email I sent. I can read the email that I sent to him. Mike, his name is, funnily enough. I said, Dear Mike, I have recently signed a petition calling for a snap election. I am currently an expat living in the Far East, and due to the fact I have expressed opinions on online platforms such as Facebook and X, which are in direct opposition to the current government of the United Kingdom, and which express my understanding that it is in fact now operating under a de facto communist ideology in all but name, I am now fully aware that should I return to the UK, I would almost certainly become a political prisoner upon arrival. I do not stand under any authority other than that of God the Father and divine law, as stated on the website of both gpms.world, of which I am a guardian, and the Community Assembly of the British Isles. I am a sovereign being with all unalienable rights endowed upon me by God the Father. GPMS, Global People's Monetary System, is a worldwide referendum which is currently growing at an exponential rate and is the divine vehicle which will be utilized by all of humanity to step into their own divine authority and take back that which has been stolen and withheld from them by the criminal special interests and those calling themselves governments over the people. This is your chance to come on board and assist to show the people that there is an alternative way. The Community Assembly of the British Isles is an alternative, parallel set of societies which are likewise growing fast and are already in operation in many regions in the UK, Ireland, and in other parts of the world. They exist outside of Westminster and apart from any presumed authority over them. As the criminality, treason, and overt malicious intent towards the native population of those isles are made more evident with each passing hour, and as more awakened to the fact that they, the people, have been the enemy in the crosshairs of those who proclaim to rule over them for the last several generations now, they are exponentially awakening and beginning to ask in a non-rhetorical fashion, what are we going to do? The two options I have provided above are the best and inevitable choices which shall be made. However, there will be others who, as history has demonstrated, will be filled with rage at the level of deceit and manipulation which has occurred to them and those they love. Allow me to ask you, where and how will that rage be enacted once the point of nothing left to lose has been reached? Who will be inevitably brought to account, and what will that look like in the face of blind, desperate rage? Simply questions for your consideration. And as I am well aware that the political class tends to think of their own skins above and beyond all other considerations, I am sure that you will give these questions very serious consideration indeed. The clock is ticking, Mike. Don't let it reach midnight without at least attempting to do the right thing, not just for the UK, but for all of humanity as a whole. The tide has already overwhelmingly turned against the globalists who dared to call themselves elite. If you had assumed yourself to be one of them, I can assure you, you never were. You were at best a useful tool for pushing their agenda of totalitarian control upon the earth and its people. I am offering you a chance, two chances, actually, as either of the organizations stated above will give you the opportunity for atonement and redemption should you choose to fully endorse them and spread the message of their existence to those of your constituency and further afield. I trust you will find it within yourself to have the courage to do the right thing, or at least move out of the way of those who are. I would finish by asking you to consider the condition of your eternal soul and the legacy of your name in the annals of the history books. Which side of Nuremberg 2.0 will you be standing on? Ultimately, that choice will be yours to make, and the time to make that choice is now upon you. Thank you for your time and attention in this matter. Love, light, and gratitude. Michael Wolfston, Son of God, Guardian of GPMS, and Ascended Master upon the living earth. So, we shall see. We shall see if I even get a response and what kind of response I'll get from that. If I do get a response from it, and it's something more than just a generic fob off, I'll mention it on the next Guardian Talks, and it might be interesting, or it might just be a nothing burger that goes nowhere. But I think I gave fair notice to the MP of the constituency for which I signed that petition, and of course I'm in the same boat as those people bemoaning on X that there's nobody to vote for in Westminster. What's the point in signing a petition to have a general election? But I'm in the same boat for a different reason. They're in the boat saying, "Oh, what's the point? There's nobody worth voting for." But what else is there? I'm in the boat saying, "Well, there's nobody worth voting for." But actually, there is alternative solutions out there, and one of them happens to be the solution, not just for the UK, but for humanity as a whole. So we do what we can, brothers and sisters. We do, but what we can. So the other day, though, the other night, there was a discussion, an open mic discussion on the Divine Collaboration chat, a group of us, and Sister Olga gave a very in-depth and powerful account of her experiences as a child and as a young woman, and the connections of her father, and it was all tied into much of the work many of us guardians have been doing metaphysically upon the earth in the various times and places that we've been doing it. I had a very intense reaction. Um, wasn't long. It was just before or just as she began to recount her experiences that I. It was almost like a almost like a form of epilepsy. I started moving. I couldn't, but everything in my body became heavy, started to become really heavy. Um, Not like achy, but like when stiff in the joints. And I tried to talk. I could barely talk. I could barely think to form words. I ended up having to lie down with the microphone on. Sorry, with the my headset on, and when I actually tried to speak to contribute. It took me about it took me about 20 seconds just to lift my arm to find the mouse and then guide it with a great will of intent over to the push microphone to talk button. It was I don't usually have very strong physical reactions to energetic occurrences and energetic upliftments and connections. Um, Occasionally, very rarely, it has happened, but it's a rare thing, and well, I don't think it's ever been to quite that intensity so fast. At one point, I just started speaking, but I was speaking what was being said by different people as they were saying it in sync instantaneously, like I was some kind of radio or puppet that had just tuned in to them, and I was saying exactly what they were saying as they were saying it. And I couldn't stop myself. That was quite something to experience. That was whoa. This has never happened before. Um, yeah, I to be honest, I don't understand the significance of it massively. As Brother Lee said, I think during the talk, obviously there was downloads occurring in me, there was upgrades going on. The next day, yesterday, I felt great. I ended up falling asleep, just becoming knocked out before the chat had finished, and I think I slept for about 10 hours, something like this, 10, maybe 11 hours. But the next day, I felt absolutely great, really good, really light, very positive. I felt there had been a massive shift, not just within me, within the field, within all that was. Definitely felt like I was on the higher timeline. Had a very good conversation with my friend Christian, brother Christian, um, who is coming over to Siem Reap in December, uh, the end of the first week in December, and we are going to this actually leads on to something else I wanted to talk about today, which was we're going to be setting up a guest house, but it's going to be more than just a guest house. It's we want to grow we want to grow vegetables there. Christian is very passionate about construction with bamboo and doing all sorts of things with bamboo, really. And so he wants somewhere where there's a workshop where he can give classes on construction with bamboo and build some show homes and demonstrate what can be done with it and teach others how to do it. And we would like to offer the place open to, I mean, obviously visitors who want to come and just use it as a guest house, but also those we would like long-term residents to be there who volunteer and who assist us to do the things we're doing there. And I want it to be a center where people who come and stay are people who understand and know their value as beings and know and respect the value of others and other beings who are also there and who will bring that value in some way, shape, or form and interact and exchange that value with the value of others on a fully equal, fully realized basis in a harmonious way and in a harmonious um, fashion. I mean, you could argue, oh, are you talking about setting up a commune? Yes and no. No, it's not a commune, and in the classical sense, but it will be a community of like-minded individuals who are, but who are those who have the honor, the honor, the virtue, the integrity, and the principles to know how to effortlessly exist and interact and exchange with other beings of like mind and like ability, and who are producers, who are creators, who are maintainers, you know. I've mentioned it before in previous Guardian talks that I'm currently reading Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And there was a part, I arrived to a part in the book the other night where there is an oath that the characters take in this special place. And the oath really struck me. The oath simply goes like this: I swear upon my life and the love of it that I shall never live for the sake of another man, nor ask any other man to live for the sake of mine. And that to me was beautiful, powerful. Um, some people on might perceive that as selfish, but it's not. It's not selfish in any way, shape, or form. It's the understanding that um, when you interact with human beings around you, that you are wise enough, you are perceptive enough to understand and recognize what your value is as a being, what the value of others are as beings, and to um, never wish to undermine that in others or undermine that in yourself for anything less than the full respect, the full honor, the full virtue, and the full integrity of what that means in acting within this world, with interacting with other beings, and that all interactions should have that knowing, that respect for that as the underlying foundational basis of that interaction. And so exchange the energy exchange between those people in and for whatever thing that they are exchanging and interacting in is a given and is respected and is honored, and that is virtuous, and that always maintains integrity. Um, it was powerful. It was powerful, and I think I want it. I think I want it written and placed upon the entrance of whatever place it is we end up choosing to create this center, to create this place, this community. Christian wants it so that anybody who comes and stays has to at least come and sit around. We're going to build a fireplace, outdoor fireplace pit, and 2, 3 times a week we'll go there, sit down, and everybody goes there, sits down, has a conversation, and anybody who comes to stay will have to come to that fire pit, the next fire pit that, after their arrival, to join in this conversation, especially if they are people who are intending to potentially stay for a long, to become residents, not just passing through visitors. Um, and then through the course of that discussion, through the course of that energy exchange, um, it will be known whether they are harmonious to us or not harmonious. And if they're not, it will be made self-evident, and they will self-filter and move on, move away with no malice, no bad will or anything like that. It's just no. It's you're either harmonious to this or you're not. You're either in the flow with us or you're not. You either do or you don't. As the wise Yoda once said, there is no try, there is either do not. And so we'll find out very quickly. There is no room for sloppiness or, um, laziness or um, disharmoniousness in this. We are looking to create. We want meticulous. We want harmonious. We want um, active direction. We want full engagement and effortless flow, and to be with beings who are either fully integral and whole or who are striving to be so, whom we can assist, if is so required and if they so choose. Nothing less will do. And we can say that nothing less will do, because in the saying of that, we are honoring who and what we are and what it is we are doing and building and creating, and we can ask that no less be brought to that without ill will, without malice, just that is the standard. And we don't hold it against you if you cannot meet that standard. Um, but that is a condition. That is a condition. And we are happy to place that condition. We consider that to be fully moral, fully right, fully principled. This is the bar. Meet it or don't. That's okay. No judgment. Great if you can. Look forward to working with you. Look forward to living with you. Look forward to creating with you. Look forward to play with you, talking with you, engaging with you, expanding and growing with you together. I would like to believe, I would like to think, I would like to feel that we will receive potentially many of our brothers and sisters, guardians from GPMS, who are looking for somewhere or something like that to be a part of as well as we move into the time of the higher timelines um, ultimate endpoint, I suppose, ultimate conclusion, the ascension moment. And once that ascension occurs, maybe everything that we are looking to do, it will become superfluous. Maybe it will be pointless, and it won't come to pass because something greater will come to pass, and something even better and more readily available, which meets all of that we were trying to do anyway, and then more will come about. I don't know. I know that day will come eventually. Um, and apparently December is a very important date, a very important month, leading up to, and on the 25th of December, apparently. Okay, cool. Um, if that is so, then let it be so. It would be great if it is. Um, by all means, universe. By all means, Father. Uh, Divine and all of creation. By all means, blow mine and Christians' intentions and plans out of the water and make them utterly redundant, because that which you have in line for us is so much infinitely greater. We will move forward with what we are doing until that moment comes. Um, for I am not wont to sit and wait under the tree as Buddha did. Not anymore. Um, but I don't judge those who do. And we will plant some trees for those who want to come and do that, if that's all they really want to do. Because that wouldn't undermine what we are doing anyway. So we'll plant some trees for you if that's what you. We'll find. We'll certainly find some if we can't plant them. So yeah, those watching up till now, thank you very much. If you have a think about that potential, and if you're curious enough, or you think you can bring something to the table, or just would like to volunteer your time and come and do so in a beautiful place and alongside brothers and sisters who will be of like mind to you, and or if you just want somewhere you can go and expand and grow and become and find what it is that you really want to be, what you really want to, what you're really passionate about. If that sounds like something that resonates with you, reach out, reach out, and we'll have a discussion. But for now, thank you very much for listening. Love, light, and gratitude, as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters. I am Michael Wolfston, Son of God, Guardian of GPMS, and Ascended Master here upon the living earth. Until next time, watch this space.